here we have the house lion supervising me as I work in the office. This is really terribly offensive. When he hears the swivelly chair creaking around, he comes in looking for Dad. And when he finds me instead of Dad, there we go, he leaves. Because he doesn't like me as much as Dad, and he doesn't bother to hide it. So rude. What are you going on about? What are you going on about? I can just hear you screaming and screaming. No, what are you going on about? What are you going on about? Do you want to go outside? Yes, you can go outside. I can't come with you. I'm working. I'm trying to put your newsletter together. Goodbye. Go on. I don't want to... Oh, what a weirdo. Hello all, it's Ruthie in Zealous Publishing, and today I'm working on the House Lions newsletter that's going to be going out around the neighbourhood, at least to the neighbours who don't have no junk mail on their letterbox, because I always think that how rude would that be if you're like, well, mine is not junk mail, mine is absolutely brilliant. So he seems to have quite a few friends around the neighbourhood, so I thought perhaps he should send out a little newsletter. So I've been working on the design for it. Wait, I'll just pull the tripod over so you can have a look at it. Oh, you can also see my beautiful cup by Bunny Noor. If you want one of those, check out the description below. I love it. It makes me happy. Okay, I'm very proud of this. This is his little newsletter that I'm working on. And I will admit the design is quite fussy and a bit Victorian. But frankly, I don't care because I quite like fussy Victorian things. And also, if you look around Sydney, I've noticed that quite a few coffee shops and men's barbers are getting a very Victorian look to them. And I think it's very good and I'm here for it. And if the next aesthetic to come in is Victorian, who knows? Maybe I'll actually be fashionable. It'll be the first time in my life. But if it doesn't happen, I don't really care because at the end of the day, I'm an artist and every artist is just a little bit stiff-necked about aesthetic matters. Otherwise we get nothing done. Well, we certainly wouldn't get anything creative done. So that is the House Lions little newsletter. Oh, I've got some lovely quotes too. I've got, outside of a dog, a book is man's best friend. Inside a dog, it's too dark to read by Groucho Marx. Isn't that marvellous? And then I've got, random fact. Did you know that Venus is the only planet in our solar system that twirls around clockwise? I didn't know that. And I never actually thought about it. And then I've got a lousy joke. How do you throw a party in outer space? You planet. Get it? Planet? Like, yeah. I guess getting it's not the problem. Anyway, that's a way to make friends. Send out lousy jokes that no one asked for. And then, because I thought just to balance out the lousy joke and show that we are people of class and sophistication, or at least attempt to be perceived that way. It may not be true, but oh well. I've got, if you have a garden and a library, you have everything you need by Cicero. I always thought, whenever I read that quote, that, you know, horses are nice too, but presumably Cicero had horses. They were probably like his cars, so he didn't think about it. But anyway, that's the House Lions newsletter for being stuck in letterboxes around the block. So that's what I'm up to at the moment. And I thought you might like to be showing it. And actually, I thought I'd better show it to you because otherwise this vlog is going to be a very thin one like last week's as well. Anyway, I better go back to work, eh? Oh, and this is Ruthie just popping back in to say it's not Bunny Noor, it's Bunny Noir. And why did I say Noor? Probably because it's spelt like Noor and I'm an unsophisticated New Zealander who cannot say French words very well. So it's Bunny Noir, and I shall put a link below because although I can't really say the word properly, I do know that I like it.
because it's very, very cute.
You guys, you want to see something really shocking? Well, I think it's really shocking. Look at all those dishes. Just look at them. You know, I am very surprised that there are dishes on this bench because Mum's usually really good about doing the dishes throughout the day. And they've gone to a chuka. That's another thing. If you're watching tomorrow, please tell your husband that I'm very grateful that he gave me the heads up because he's like, oh, are you going to a chuka with them? And I said, they're going to a chuka. And he said, didn't you know? And I said, they don't tell me anything. So they're in a chuka and they left all of these dishes on the bench, which Mum usually does. And I'm a little bit shocked. But I've been pondering why Mum would just leave those dishes there. And you know what I've come up with? I think it's this murder novel she's writing. Oh yes, I think it's actually having a very hardening effect on her character because I've noticed since she started researching murder novels and writing a murder novel, this situation, this bench of dishes that doesn't get cleared like that seems to be increasing. And what can I say? Apparently, some people just don't have the necessary character to write murder novels and keep on top of their little daily tasks. So I suppose I'm going to have to wash up all these dishes that Mum left for me. The fact that many of them are my cups and my dishes does not seem to me to be very useful evidence or information. In fact, now that I think about it, forget I even brought it up. Thank you. I better get the washing in before I make tea because it gets dark and cold and then the sheets feel quite damp. It was sheet washing day today. What you doing, Mr. House Lion? I'm like the Pied Piper of cats, aren't I? There's this whole collection of cats just come running up. Let's see if I can show you. I'll see if I sit on this chair if they all come up. Come on. Come on. Come on. Who's going to jump up? Who's going to jump up? You going to jump up? Come on. Who wants to get on my lap? Stinking Sheila? You're the only one. They do this, say they make you look like liars. They're staying off camera, but there's a whole heap of them. What, you still want to stay out? Okay. They'll all be trying to get in about an hour's time. I'll show you. You guys, look, there's Skinny Legs Fosdyke. She's got no power to compete with the other cats, not even her own children. And she's given up even trying to get food from the neighbours. So what we do is we let her sneak in. I'm going to see if I can let her sneak in. But they've got ears like, is it lynx that have really good ears? Come on, Fosdyke. You can come in. Come in. Not you, Sheila. Come on, Fosdyke. You better move it, Fosdyke. Not you, Jasper. I can't even pick her up because she's so shy, but she's worked out that we're quite kind, so she'll... No. Well, that didn't work. Okay, you know what? You go in too, and I'll feed Yes, you come in too. Come on, Mr. House Lion. Get inside. Puss. Well, that's one way of doing it. I shall take some fish out to Fosdyke. He doesn't even want to eat fish at the moment. He's so picky. And think about it, Smallweed. You're not taking your sister's food. I know for a fact you get good pickings next door. And you're quite a large, muscular cat. Actually, he's quite a problem. He's becoming quite a bully to the smaller cats. And we don't really like that. I mean, I know it's just the way of cats, but, you know, it's still not very nice to watch. I told you they'd all want to come in. Well, this one actually managed it. No, come on. You need to go out. You're not allowed to stay in. And it's not even cold tonight. It's not as mean as it sounds. There's a little cat house in the neighbour's garden for him. Good night. The others were trying to get in before, but my phone battery was dead, so I couldn't show you. Guys, I'm so excited. Look at this. So during the summer, well, the late summer, we had a lot of roses, and I actually collected a lot of the petals and I froze them because when I was growing up, there was a lady who made this delicious rose petal jam, and I remember how good it tasted. Now, I didn't want to make jam, but I know that rose petals can be a really nice flavour from my childhood. So I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with them. So I kept researching recipes that use rose petals. It's not that common around here, really. And a couple of flavours kept coming up a lot. Cardamom and orange. I think it's more of a Middle Eastern thing. Anyway, I soaked 3 cups of, there were quite a few fiddly rose syrup recipes online, but they called for oodles of cane sugar, which I cannot eat, and they seem quite fiddly. So what I did is overnight, I've soaked 3 cups of rose petals with 1 cup of honey, the zest and juice of 2 large oranges, and a little bit of cardamom, and this smells amazing. So I'm going to have a play around with it and see what I can do with it. It's a really unusual flavour and really quite delicious. So looks like I'm going to be doing something quite creative this weekend in the kitchen. Well, not this weekend, this week, I should say. Oh, and also pistachios. Pistachios, orange, cardamom, and what else was it I said? Oh, and I used honey. It was a toss-up between maple syrup and honey, but I thought given that everything sort of was coming from more of a Middle Eastern place, I thought honey rather than maple syrup. I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but it actually tastes really nice, but rather unusual. Yeah, I forgot to say, the pistachios haven't gone in there. They're just going to be part of whatever my creation is. It's kind of exciting, actually, when you've got really cool ingredients and you only have the concept of a recipe. But I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to have such a nice time in the kitchen. And this week's Bible verse from Zealous Publishing in Rosebank House is, "How beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news, who proclaim peace, who bring good tidings, who proclaim salvation, who say to Zion, your God reigns." And that is Isaiah chapter 52, verse 7. Don't forget to read your Bible. It's not just a book, it's also a light to our feet. And there is my rose petal and pistachio pie that I invented, and I don't know what it tastes like, but it smells really nice. And I will probably put this recipe up on the blog regardless of how it turned out, because I found the process of working with rose petals so interesting. And I will say this though, I think there's a reason people generally cook with fruit instead of flowers, but I thoroughly enjoyed experimenting with a new ingredient, and I have to say it's turned out really, really pretty. I like the way the pistachios look a little bit like rosebuds, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. So that has been my little invention in the kitchen. Anyway, that has been the daily doings at Zealous Publishing in Rosebank House. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sorry I didn't do my little art game. I'm hoping to do that next week, but I just ran out of time this week. So yeah, I hope you have an absolutely beautiful weekend, and it's just me here today, so I shall say have a lovely weekend from me at Zealous Publishing. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.